Hi, it's Kevin Lobates here, and the Resonance hat has made an appearance, so you can guess today's video is about security. And today I want to talk about the storage of passwords and the long history of improvements that has seen over time to deal with the problem of hackers. So back in the early days, the simple obvious approach that developers took for storing passwords so they could check your username and password and then perform authentication and allow you access to a system was to store the password plain text in a database or text file. And this, of course, has a problem, which is if a hacker breaks into your system, they can just copy the password file and now they can log on as any user in the system. And what's worse, because people tend to reuse passwords, they can go and check other systems to see if the same accounts work on those systems too. The solution to that was to do something called hashing the password. So now you're no longer storing the plain text passwords. Instead, you put each password through a hash function, and there's a chapter on how hash functions work in my book Move Over Brokers, Here Comes the Blockchain. But in short, by putting the password into a hash function, you get a pseudo-random number out. You can't predict what it's going to be beforehand, but the same password will always generate the same hash. And now, when someone tries to log in, you take their password, you hash it, and you check that hash against the hash that you have stored in your password database. And if they match, then you allow the user into the system. Otherwise, you kick them out. So that's all very well and good, but the problem is that hackers would start to generate things called rainbow tables. They would take lots and lots of known passwords and common English words and so on, and they would hash them all and build a table of passwords and what they hash to. And then when they find a file full of hashes, they can check if any of the hashes are in their rainbow table, and now they know your password again. So that was the second evolution in storing passwords. The third solution is to add something called a salt to each password. So what you do is you don't just hash the password, you pick a random number and you hash the password plus the random number to get a unique hash, even if each password was the same. And that means that the rainbow tables don't work anymore, because now each password has to be attacked individually. You'd need to have a rainbow table for each salt, as it's called, the extra random number. And that makes it combinatorically impossible for a hacker to have enough tables to be able to cover all the cases, because the salt random number can be as long as you like. And there you have it. Those are the kind of three steps that took place in the storing of passwords. Now, the way we are going at the moment is to actually move away from passwords altogether, because they have a whole host of other flaws, some of which I've discussed in other videos. But that just gives you a quick overview of the kind of arms race that has been taking place in username password authentication between systems administrators, systems managers, and hackers, and hopefully gives you some insight into the kind of battles that we are facing in computer security. I hope you found this video interesting, and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye for now.